And welcome to Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Diorio, your host, as always. Apologize if we don't have our normal opening because, technical difficulties. Anyways, we are sans the babyface one, the champion, Theowalski, but we are joined by the beanied one, Gerard Ferrera.
How's it going, nerds? What's going on? Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching, and let's get into it. And J-Rock, J-Bo.
He doesn't do it right, Jay. We got our maitre d' services, the man with the couch, the man, the myth, the legend, the lion's mane, Jason Bolidio.
How's it going, guys? How's it going? Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it, Jay. It's okay. You mess up stuff all the time. But how's it going,
as
guys?
I say, I do it my way.
Sure.
That's right.
So it's all right. We're missing the champ right now. It's okay. It's okay.
We are.
Right.
Yeah.
I just real quick before we get started tonight, I need to do a wellness check-in with Jerry. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling about the fact that the Mets walked into Chavez Ravine and took a game from your boys in the NLCS?
Oh man, I need to check the highlights. I was already privied from a couple coworkers. I heard it was a rough game.
7-3, giving up a grand slam, a home run to Lindor.
Yeah.
Now it's a best of
only
5
grand slam.
Only a grand slam like that.
Because
when my coworker told me, I was like, really? Like, yeah, dude. It hurts.
You know,
like,
you're heading back to 3 games in New York City.
Yeah, we'll see.
To get it back to LA, you got to win one of those 3.
It's hurting, but we'll see. This one was going to be tough. This one was going to be tough. I mean, we knew that going in, so we'll see. I still have to. I'm still gonna brace myself and watch the highlight. I still have to watch the highlights. I'm still going to watch.
I don't personally. I was talking to one of my kids' dads about this. We talk baseball all the time. I wouldn't want to face the Dodgers going into Game 7. That's like with that firepower and that.
Yeah.
Absolutely absurd.
But that's the
payroll.
thing, though. Like we gotta stop doing the same thing we always do and go to that point. We need to, you know what I mean? Like we gotta break the cycle.
What we've been doing,
Yeah. So let's get started because there is a little bit to talk about. We got a little bit of sad news to discuss as well tonight, and we'll get to that. It's going to be sad more so for Jason and I.
Yep. Yeah.
Than Jerry, but we'll get there. But we're going right into our theater, real quick.
Let me back up as you guys.
So we got to go.
I love this one.
Let's see which theater do we want to use tonight.
Let me back up. So either one is going to be tiny as heck. So let me back up.
We'll just there he goes.
There he is.
There you go.
Oh,
there
he is.
So, anyways, this came out today that PlayStation is going to be doing a concert series.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And let me make sure I even shared this with audio. Oh. Share sound. There we go. So
that was pretty sweet.
PlayStation.
Oh, that was it. I was gonna open.
That was pretty sweet.
So,
dude, sit back and just enjoy the show already.
But it's already.
That was
All
awesome,
right.
dude. Yeah, that was a good opening. I like that.
They're going to be doing a concert series, which is going to include music from The Last of Us, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, and Horizon. I own soundtracks for every single one of those. Um, so for those that aren't familiar with the composers, right? It's going to be composer Gustavo Santaolalla did Last of Us. You've got George DeMann from Horizon, Elon Eshkari for Ghost, and then Bear McCreary for God of War. They're saying it's going to be a little bit, a little bit more music in there. Hopefully they toss in some Uncharted. Um, but from a tour date perspective, they're going to be doing Ireland, the UK,
Cool.
Netherlands, France. Um, you've got Germany, Bulgaria, Austria,
Wow.
Belgium, the Czech Republic, Poland, Denmark, Sweden, Switzerland,
Damn. So it's a straight up world
Norway,
tour.
and Italia. Now they are supposed to be coming to the US as well. They haven't announced those dates coming up. Now let me ask you a question because they haven't exactly said how much the tickets are going to be.
That was going to be
You
my next question.
and of course, being these are European cities, we're not going to be able to do this. If you use code play concert 24, you got early access to tickets starting tomorrow. Where the rest of the sales go on the general public, or tickets go on sale rather for the general public on Friday. Is this, I mean, honestly, we see this as a concert series now. You've got Final Fantasy has been doing it, Dragon Quest has been doing it. Would you go see a concert just for the music of PlayStation?
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it would be. I mean, it depends on the circumstances. Like if they were doing it like something like at the Hollywood Bowl, I would definitely do something like that and try and catch it. Um, but when it comes to like something like this, I would totally go. But like, I mean, I would plan it. But I'd like to know a little bit more about it, like how it, like what's the whole thing.
So Jerry's a maybe, depending on who he goes with at this point.
That too, yeah.
Matt, what about you? Matt, before you ask me.
So first things first, when it comes to the state, everybody, Jerry is single, so he could use a date for it.
Thank you.
So if you'd like, we can start the screening process now. Feel free to email
You and
me
Pierre, I
at
swear to God.
matt.diorio at crashinggamenight.com. The email is listed right on the website as well. So you can head over to there and get my mail so we can start the selection process.
You know they'll go. You know they're going to have one in
you know-
LA, Jerry. So I mean, come on.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
So,
but that would be cool. It would be cool
if it's
to
in
go see it, yeah.
LA, Jerry will treat you to a night at Nick's Deli
Oh
for
my
a nice
God.
late lunch before heading on into LA, dealing with that traffic and stuff. He'll get you taken care of there.
I know a couple
Anyways.
places. Yeah, you're so ridiculous.
Or you could go to Philippe's,
Oh yeah, yeah.
But just saying, we gotta promote you a little bit.
So
out there
funny.
in Cali.
Thank you.
Anyway. Jason, to answer your question, I would, but that's because at my heart, I will always love movie and game scores. That is something, if you go look at my purchase music list on iTunes and stuff like that, there is an absolute ton of game scores and movie scores that I own. I do own both Horizon. Well, actually, I own all three Horizon soundtracks. So Forbidden West, Zero Dawn, and Frozen Wilds. I own Ghost of Tsushima. I own both God of War soundtracks, 2018 and Ragnarok. And I do own Last of Us 1. I haven't gotten Last of Us 2 yet. And I would love to see those performed live by a actual full orchestra. And hopefully from Horizon perspective, hopefully Julie Elvin, who is the vocalist for for the score and stuff like that, hopefully she's going to be there for it. She was involved with the Game Awards a couple of years ago, right? And on stage. So I
Cool.
would, just like I would love to go to a concert series for Final Fantasy. I know they're constantly doing those. There just haven't been one close to me. But I would love to go hear that too. Nobuo Uematsu's scores are absolutely epic and have been epic for a very long time. Um, so it would be, I think it also depends on the price too, right? Let's
What would your cap be at? You know,
are we
given like you're
talking?
going solo, given
I was
you're
gonna
like, you
say,
know what?
am I taking myself out on the town by
Yeah,
myself
yeah.
and treat myself? Yeah, then
Up
we'd probably
up
be
to you.
looking. I could go up to, depending on the seats, I'd say I'd go up to about $100 for me.
Okay,
If
I'm
I'm
kind of
if
I'm kind of right there. I would have been like 150.
Now if we're talking, Jerry taking someone out in town, at some point, I would say somewhere in the ballpark of 50 to 75 per ticket, because you got to factor in he's got to get dinner at Philippe's or Nick's. You got roses. He's got to get, he's
Yeah,
got to do
well,
the
I'm just saying,
experience.
like, what is your cap? Like, no
I'd spring
food,
100 a ticket
just
still for
literally
the for the
go
for
in
the
there.
date.
You take the bus, like whatever. Like you're just going there to go to the
take
concert.
take that fine.
I'd Uber. I would Uber. You know.
So yeah, I would do it though. I mean, my
Yeah,
cap would
that'd
be
be fun.
probably $100 for a ticket. Jason, what about
Yeah.
you?
Nope.
You wouldn't
No,
go at all.
at
Even if you
all.
gave me a ticket, I probably wouldn't go either.
Why
Here's
is
the
that?
thing. So this is the reason why for me, you know, all four of them have zero commonality in music. Like honestly,
Other than that, the fact that they're PlayStation.
Yeah,
yeah.
but that's the whole point. Like each game, each
Mm,
section is gonna sound completely different, and the
Nope.
orchestra is gonna do that.
The orchestra will be able to do that, but will you feel like you can easily stream through all four of these? No. It's literally just, you'll have some, like when the sad songs play, and depending on how their set list goes. But even still, like you have The Last of Us, which is very like suspenseful. Then you have God of War, which is very warlike. Horizon is the all around, and then Ghost of Tsushima is more like the scenic, like the scenic
Steady.
the
Lord of the
only
Rings. Let me take you on a
Yeah,
journey.
to Jason's point, right? I think Horizon is the only one that could be close to God of War, because of there are um some of the songs that have the big drums
Yeah.
and the percussions and
Well,
everything.
yeah, but
Um,
just musically for me,
mhm,
this there is no like, there's nothing that tie it together. So like they have the video game orchestra. What do they
mhm,
play? They play a lot of 8-bit games and they turn it into orchestra pieces.
mhm,
But you still know that all of them are still 8-bit games. Final Fantasy, all what do they have all in common? They're all Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball, whatever, even anime ones, they still have they don't play like something from Dragon Ball Z and then all of a sudden cut to like something new school. They do, but there's a reason or tie for it.
mhm.
This one is just let's throw some of our greatest hits and just make some money off it. Even if you gave me a ticket, I still probably wouldn't see it. Like
Hmm.
there's no for me musical tie that I can be like, oh, you know what? Like, that's following after that. Oh, that's so good. So it's always going to be this roller coaster of where do I want my emotions as a listener? Because, we've all been to concerts and there's always one band that's there,
Mhm.
that you're going for. And what do they play? All their songs. Like, oh, what a shocker. Here you're getting like something from war, something from peaceful times. You're getting something from like the apocalyptic times.
Mhm.
Like, where is it? Where is it going?
So
Where's it going?
so when you look at it, like Final Fantasy, right, we know is similar. And I think that's mostly in the fact that it's Nobuo Uematsu. Let's be
Yeah,
honest, as a
yeah. So you
composer.
have one
Um,
major composer, two if you want to include
and
Soken, because Soken is
mhm.
amazing. He hopefully
And I
will be able to follow those steps, but it's you have 4 different composers now. It's like literally having like Mozart, Bach, Beethoven, and Liszt all like in the same thing. Does
I'm
it kind of
curious.
mesh? Not really, but they're all great. They're all great, but does it mesh?
You know what? I can understand Jason's point though. Like you look at the Last of Us soundtrack specifically, it's a lot of just guitar, guitar being picked and stuff like that, and not really a ton of other things outside of that. I think so. You'd probably looking at Last of Us and Ghost being similar, God of War and Horizon being similar, but to Jason's point, right? It's not connected other than the fact it's PlayStation.
Yeah, it's only PlayStation.
And I think at each 4 of them are amazing scores in and of themselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
But there isn't a complete commonality to where I think to Jason, probably your point, and correct me if I'm wrong in this, is that it's going to be very hard to flow from one game to the other in terms of a sound. Whereas you could go from an FF7 into an 8, into a 9, into a 10, into 16, and in a
Or
remake
even
because
Zelda,
they're
Zelda playing literally Zelda's
Yeah.
lullaby throughout time. That's
Dude.
that's possible, But
Speaking of that,
you have different versions of
Yep.
Zelda's lullaby, which you can
Interesting.
just orchestrally do something with.
He's-
Here, like, what are you gonna do? Like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what? Bang out the drums for God of War, and then all of a sudden just have like
Hmm.
the shamisen come up for Ghost of Tsushima. You're like, wait, what? What?
Interesting take.
I-
Morbid, a bit of a downer, but I understand. I get it.
How's it more
I think-
a bit of a downer?
I'm just saying, man. Like sometimes just go to a concert and enjoy it. I mean, it sounds interesting. I honestly feel like there would be some visuals there because, like, I think they would incorporate either the
definitely.
games or cinematics.
Of course they will. But
Yeah.
it's going to be like a 175 ticket that I'm just like, yo, you know what? Like it's not worth it at all, man.
For me is I hope they don't do the PlayStation inflation, right? Because we talked about like the cost of the PS5 Pro and whatnot, and the Portal and
it
stuff like
is.
that, and
It is.
whatnot. I do know that everyone has said that the Final Fantasy experience is great, and we're seeing. With that said, Jason, this one's going to hurt a little bit.
ファンタジアンがですね、12月5日発売が決定いたしました。僕のゲーム音楽としての最後の作品となります。ぜひ買って遊んでください。よろしくお願いします。
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
we'll go back
Yeah.
in.
I
I'm
have
going to
no
read this
idea.
for our listeners that are just listening at home. So basically, that was Nobuo Uematsu recording a little blurb for the new game coming out, Fantasia Neo Dimension, which is basically from Mistwalker Studios, which was basically started by the father of Final Fantasy. He left Square Enix, went and started Mistwalker. Mistwalker did Blue Dragon on the Xbox, and they also did Lost Odyssey, which Lost Odyssey was absolutely freaking amazing of a game, and I wish they would actually port that to PlayStation and stuff so people could experience that. But he says Fantasian releases on December 5th. This is my final project as a composer of video game music. I hope you'll pick it up and play it. Thanks for your support. So basically, he is essentially retiring as a primary composer. We knew this was coming. He kind of talked about it when Rebirth was coming out. That he doesn't have the stamina anymore to do a full on game composer. He may do guest spots here and there, but he is pretty much hanging it up. So I wanted to kind of take a look at. Let's look at his career, right? Which is it's long and lengthy.
It's almost 4 or 5 decades.
It starts back in 86.
Yep.
So we're almost 40 years.
Yep.
All right. And just looking at his highlights, right? It all started in 87 with Final Fantasy. Like, yeah, there's a couple games before that and whatnot, but the one we really know is the original Final Fantasy.
Wow.
He did Final Fantasy 2 in 88, Final Fantasy Legend in 89, Final Fantasy 3 in 90, along with Final Fantasy Legend 2. You had Final Fantasy IV and Romancing Saga,
Yep.
there in 91, 92.
Which is Final Fantasy 2 in the States for Super Nintendo.
I think this is actually like the actual legit numbered ones, Jay, not any of the, threes and
Oh yeah,
whatever
no. Yeah,
stuff
it's
that
the
we had,
legit number one, but like for us in the US, Final Fantasy
was
4 was 2 for us in the Super Nintendo.
Yes, correct. So you had Final Fantasy, 5 in 92, 6 in 94, Chrono Trigger teaming up with Yoshinori Mitsuda. Like that right there was one of the, dream teams. You had Front Mission, you had FF7, 97, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yep.
Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, Final Fantasy 12, Blue Dragon, Lost Odyssey. He did the main. I did not know this. He did the main theme for Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Oh wow!
Like this man's everywhere. Like
yeah.
You had FF14.
Yep.
Which
again, like I said earlier, and hopefully this is the guy that's going to pick up that level. Soken. I hope that he picks up that level. I mean, he's already there. He's starting to bust out like a lot of bangers, a lot of good music. But I mean, it's big shoes to fill, though.
Yeah, it is. And then you keep on going, right? He did a bunch of stuff that was just independent. He was just freelancing. You've got Oceanhorn, which is kind of like it's an exploration game, kind of along the lines of like a Zelda and stuff. You've got Grand Blue Fantasy. You've got came back for doing a song for FF14 Heaven's Word. And then you've got Stormblood. You've got FF15 Comrades. He did part of FF7 Remake. He did Fantasian, did Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and then that's just game. He did movies as well, which he did Advent Children as well with
gnarly.
With Keiji Kawamori, Kenichiro Fukuai, sorry, and
maybe I should say it out for you, bro.
Go for it, Jay.
Keiji Kawamori, Kenichiro Fukui, and Tsuyoshi Sekito. So
there you go.
Bro. Thank you.
Thank you. He did Fairy Tale the movie. He did Grand Blue Fantasy the animation. He's done a whole bunch of other just singles and stuff for different games and everything like that. Like Nobuo Uematsu-san, you can basically, the second you hear a soundtrack to a game, it's him. It's kind of like John Williams for movies or Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And or Steve Jablonsky, any one of those. And this is where the nerd for the game and movie soundtracks and me come out. Trevor Rabin. They all have their very unique style and the types of instruments that they like to use and their scoring. And Nobuo is, I think, he's going to be missed, up there, man. Yeah. He's legendary as far as game scores go, and it's sad to see him, but he's getting up there, right? He was born in 59. So I mean, yeah, he's 65, but it's not easy scoring anything anymore. And then you look at the length of games now and how much you actually have to do for track wise. The Final Fantasy score is ridiculously long when you look at it, so can you imagine scoring all of that?
Yeah.
So,
man,
Jason, how do
you it's tough to think about like how much work is in game scores alone, because I mean, just take Rebirth and Final Fantasy VII, for instance. When you're in any kind of action or any kind of like town or world, all that ambient, all that music there. Yeah. You don't really think about it, but that's a lot. Yeah.
Jay, how do you feel? Like you're way more of a Final Fantasy fan than I am.
Square Enix.
And Square Enix, right? For me,
Square Enix guru.
I go back to Nobuo with Chrono Trigger. That's where that's for me, That's my point in time where I know Nobuo from is Chrono.
I mean, it's it's crazy how he's evolved from the 8-bit music, you know, and he's saying it to even now, you know, and I think that's where that artistic style is starting to fade out a little bit. You know, yes, we all agree that, like, you know, retro vintage is forever and you can never stop, but listen to some of the things that have been coming out, like Final Fantasy wise, because I mean Rebirth and Remake were done. Again, I really want to say it was Silken, but it's Nobu had helped out with some of it. So I mean, it is like this passing of the torch that I'm excited for. But again, it's like you have that old school that's being met well with the new school, and because the new school is different now, it's so like high strung, or like it's not as like the tempos are a little bit more up. He's like, okay, like he it's generational for sure. And I just, you know, he did have to go at some point, you know, like, but it's bittersweet, you know. Yeah, like yeah, again, it is Soken that's going to be the one that is hopefully like the next like the next
The next
composer.
guy.
Yeah, the next composer for Final Fantasy. Because I mean, Soken is the one that's literally has done for the most part, all of Final Fantasy 14. So if you hear any of those songs from there, like you know that like it meshes well with how Final Fantasy is going. And then again, like Soken is the one that did 16. So like when we hear like how like the previous ones sound, and then now we have this one with 16, you're not really skipping much of a beat, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really hoping that it the hopefully the torch is passed like amazing.
To your point, let's go look at Soken. Masayoshi Soken. So
and I mean, like,
he's been around since he's started working in 98. You know, he's been part of, you know, Front Mission 5. He did some stuff for Nintendo. You know, Final Fantasy 14 to that point. You know, he's done, to your point, right? Realm Reborn, Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, Endwalker, Dawn Trail, and 16. So, you know, that's an immense amount right there, right? So hopefully they do, you know, pass the torch. I know FF7 Rebirth was a huge, you know, undertaking from a music perspective.
All I mean, like all of it. I mean, like you listen to, like, I mean, the music from 14 that Silken has gotten, honestly, has been able to form into a band. Like there is an actual band called the Primals that literally do all those songs, and it's the same with like, you know, Metalocalypse, you know,
and
with
with
the creator
Nobuo, right? They created a band called the Black Mages,
yeah,
which did like hard rock versions of all the FF scores. So Nobuo has, in my mind, just like John Williams, he has earned this.
Yeah. Oh,
very much so. Very much. And I would love him to come out of retirement to do the final battle score rather for FF7, whatever they're going to call it. Like, he's been there. Let him be the one that ends that trilogy, right?
I feel like it would have been a perfect send off with him doing the ending, like the ending theme, the main boss battle, or like the final boss battle. That would have actually been a perfect send off. Like a, you know what, like a that would have put a tear to my eye.
So Nobuo, You know, I doubt he's gonna be listening to this at all. But anyways, Nobuo-san, thank you for me because your music has been a part of my life since the Super Nintendo era, especially with Chrono Trigger, which is my all-time favorite game. You go in and you look at my video game playlist for songs, and it is 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, a predominant part of that is FF8, which to me, out of all the games, including Remake and Rebirth, I still think 8 is in my opinion, one of the most epic Final Fantasy scores. In my opinion. I know a lot of people differ on that, but you know, Libertali Folly, you know, is one of my I love that. Like that opening to the game and everything was just pure magic. And from an opening for an FF game, I don't think you get any better than FF8. So now as we, you know, look at, you know, some of our composers starting to leave, you know, both in Hollywood and the gaming industry, you know, this year, you know, here in the last week, actually, we saw a birthday for one of my personal favorite in my all-time favorite series, which is Uncharted 2 turned 15 years old.
Mm.
And in the last week, we also had
one of our favorite.
Okay, well, you know what? I can't speak for everybody. I don't want to speak for you. I mean,
Okay.
Lost Legacy could be your favorite, and that's okay. But we also had Halo 2 turn 20.
Mm.
And I think when you look at that,
feel
right,
old at all.
it doesn't make me. It makes
Remember
me feel
selling
real
it, Jerry?
fucking old.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Oh my God.
That's crazy.
But I think those two are prime examples of when a sequel, an actual like sequel, actually surpasses that of its former game, like the game that preceded it. Halo 2, you know, we saw it add on the dual gun mechanics and whatnot. To think that was 20 years ago, you know, and then you look at Uncharted 2, which that opening alone is epic and has been repeated by other games out there. You know, but I want to ask you guys this is when you look at direct sequels, what are some of those other games out there that you think actually surpasses that of the original?
Oh,
Like,
come on, dude. My Addiction.
God, I walked right into that.
how you walked into it.
Yeah.
Like,
come on.
You
That
couldn't
was so
softball
easy.
throw that any easier.
Actually, 2 from the same company. I can say 2 from the same company.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm over here. Forget softball pitching. I'm playing wiffle ball.
Yeah. Okay, so my answers: GTA 5, Red Dead 2. Perfect examples.
Well, hold on though. I don't consider GTA 5 a direct sequel though.
GTA is not a sequel.
It's not a sequel.
Okay,
It's like Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Final Fantasy is not a
that's
sequel.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. They're multiple.
Like 10-2.
Then Red Dead. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely
because
absolutely one.
Yeah, because like sequels, just because they have a number after it doesn't make it a sequel. Like,
well, I was just thinking, yeah.
Like I said, Final Fantasy is one of them. You know, Persona is not one of them. But I mean, there's same rough.
No, that's true.
Roughly,
I was a little overzealous.
Dimension.
I understand.
The same universe, but not the same. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And you're even like stretching it, saying universe. But yeah, I think Red Dead 2 for sure.
Yeah.
I would say Super Metroid.
Metroid to Super Metroid.
Yeah. Mario 3.
Again, Mario, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think that would count then.
Okay. I'll give you.
Again, you're in the same universe.
I think what would
but-
count. Well, so like I think Luigi's Mansion that would count. So like technically, if you say 2,
see, yeah,
2 wasn't good though.
that's a franchise. It's not like an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
Like
Mario, the same character needs to be
or
in
like
1
Mario
and
Odyssey.
2, and it has to be either a continuation of or
And it is. Yeah, Luigi's Mansion.
So in that case,
2,
I
3.
would say this. Link to the Past, not Link to the Past. The sequel they brought out for the Game Boy. God, why am I blanking on that all of a sudden?
Four Swords.
No.
Four Swords?
Four Swords was Game Boy, so that's the only one I can think
of. Link Between Worlds. So that was the sequel to Link to the Past. Is a direct sequel. That would be one I think that, as much as I absolutely love Link to the Past, it's my favorite Zelda. Link Between Worlds was an amazing follow-up to it. And I think even though it's not on my list, but I think you look at Majora's Mask being a follow-up to Ocarina of Time.
Decent, good sequel.
It had acclaim though. There's a lot of people that absolutely love it as a sequel,
Very true.
I think you look at again in that same realm, Tears of the Kingdom has evolved what Breath of the Wild did.
So that would be a sequel.
Okay,
that would
so
be
that's a sequel. Another good one.
But for me, I think the bar is still, from a sequel's perspective, for me, it's just still Uncharted 2. Like it has been, because it's been, look at
that's
what
another
it
example.
did and how many games tried to rip it off.
Oh yeah,
and
it was certainly one of those that surpassed the first game. Like it's one of those sequels. Like even in movies, the sequel surpassed the first movie. Like it was one of those.
It's like Empire.
It just kept it kept topping itself.
It's like Empire Strikes Back.
It was great.
But I think like you look at imitation wise too, from an Uncharted 2 perspective, Jedi Fallen Order. Remember they stole. As much as I love Respawn, that whole little train scene in Fallen Order is almost spot on to what Nathan Drake went through in Uncharted 2. When you think about it, because you're having to climb up, and everything. And from a storytelling perspective, like Amy Hennig and Naughty Dog, because you got to remember Neil Druckmann wasn't the head of wasn't the actual head of it back then. It was still Amy Hennig. I think Uncharted 2 is still chef's kiss compared to that. So Jason, real quick, so what would you consider the one sequel for you in your mind that is better than the original?
Honestly, and I know like I've been trying to veer off, but to be quite frank, and these are games that I personally I haven't quite finished sometimes, or like I just understand it as this is what it is. Like honestly, Resident Evil 1 to 2, amazing.
Oh man,
that's
another
huge jump.
Great example. Yeah,
but
great
like
example.
it is a sequel. It follows. That is amazing. Have I beaten both of them? Not really. Like sure I have by watching it, but have I played them? Not really. Like it's back in the day, it was rough. But aside from that, it's going even farther back. For me personally, this is definitely Parasite Eve and Parasite Eve 2. Like,
oh wow, deep cut. I haven't heard those games in a while.
It is it's amazing. I want to I do always want to replay it. It's just getting it is not as easy, I'm not sure. I haven't looked it up to see if it's on the PlayStation Store, but that's one where it is really good. I miss like the system is just the game system, like the mechanics is just amazing, and I just missed that a little
It
bit,
is.
and I'm like,
It's not on the store, Jay.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's okay. Like hopefully that gets remade. Like, that deserves a remake. Like, damn, like that's a oh, that was a good game.
That's funny.
So, speaking of games on the PlayStation Store and stuff like that, let's start with Jerry. Jerry, what you been playing?
Let's see. More Echoes. I haven't been able to play too much this
How
week.
far are you?
I'm not that far. I've been exploring a lot and killing enemies and collecting their essences or echoes and stuff like that. I think I'm well, story wise, I'm on to the like third dot that pops up on the map for you to explore more. I think it's the second warp gate that I'm working on.
Okay.
So that and a little bit of Outlaws, but like I said, I haven't been able to play all that much, but that's about it. Yeah. And just
Watch anything?
been rewatching some stuff. Rewatched Wednesday, rewatched Solo Leveling, but I finished that with
Okay,
you.
hold on. I'm gonna call. I'm going on record with this now because I had conversations with you and Theo. You two are assholes because you did not tell me that Solo Leveling ends on that cliffhanger.
We did forget about telling you about that cliffhanger. Yeah.
That's such a good show. Jason, I actually really love an anime.
Oh
and I can't wait for season 2.
Yeah, dude, he got really into
this?
yeah.
Solo
yeah, it's awesome.
Leveling
What is this?
fucking amazing.
Yeah, dude.
So,
oh my God, is this the olive branch that all of a sudden now turns Matt, changing all of his backgrounds to
no
anime posters, wall scroll?
No, not that far. Not that far.
Not that far.
Get a wall scroll?
We're taking the win.
No.
Taking the win there.
Take the win.
Yeah. It's this was a good one.
No,
Yeah,
but
we got him on one.
It was really good.
Yeah, good.
So
Cool.
Jason,
Um,
what have you been playing? What have you been watching?
what have I been playing? I haven't been playing much. Took a break from I'm jumping back on for the platinum hunt on Final Fantasy. Took like a week or so off.
Get it? Understood that. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually got into watching House now.
Such a good show.
I know, but like
No
it's just so
way.
random. Like I guess because like I kept
That is
watching
random for you.
some of these like random. And I'm
Is
like,
it from
dude,
TikTok? Because I've been
Yeah,
getting
a
that
few
too.
from TikTok, a
I've
few
been
from
curious about
YouTube
House too.
Shorts.
I've been those have been on my feed as well.
And like it's just the humor. The humor
Yeah.
got me, and I'm like, okay.
I
let me
really
watch
like the
this a little
smart
bit.
ass, like sarcastic, like
Yeah,
it was
I love
really
House.
starting to eat away at me. Like,
It's
Hugh
like,
Laurie
where
is
can I
just
watch
an
House
amazing
right
actor.
now?
It's like
So,
that's
yeah.
hilarious.
So-
That's funny.
Yep.
Like,
So where are you watching it?
I'm watching it on Hulu right now.
It's on Hulu.
It's on
Okay,
Hulu.
I'm probably gonna start it now.
Yeah. Well, and then like
Okay, cool.
obviously like because there's a lot of people that go through it. Like you get to see a young John Choi, and I'm like, oh, young John Cho, and I'm like, oh my God, like there's some funny stuff, but it's just like, you know what? It just made me like, hey, you know what? Pick up that TV show. It's done. Like I don't have to worry about like, oh, like what's going on.
Spoilers or anything. Like,
You
yeah.
know, like, oh, the
Yeah.
spoilers are already out. Like, oh, like I really don't care. It's just like, yeah, it's a little bit of fun right there. And then yeah, that's it. Just those two, here and there. And I'll just like do some random like small game online or like playing mahjong still.
Sweet. Oh,
Gotta
sorry.
keep my mahjong up, bro.
I forgot my shows. Also, X-Men 97, another rewatch.
I'm doing a rewatch on that right now.
Also, check out the Penguin series. I've been watching that.
Okay.
That's been pretty good. So I would recommend
what has come out though, or is about to come out though, just I'm waiting for Rona to get back, is Legend of Vox Machina. The next season is
Oh
out.
yeah, I already been watching that too, baby.
Yeah,
I'm
waiting for her to come back.
List.
So
God
good.
damn it. I hate
It's
So,
so good.
yeah, waiting for it. And again, it's
that's
gonna
the
be
Critical
interesting.
Role guys, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, it's
So
going to be
good, dude.
interesting how.
Dude, I'm jealous of you. You're starting at season 1, right, Matt?
I will be,
Oh
yes.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude.
that's good. But I mean, like,
so fun.
I haven't watched it yet because I'm going to wait for her. But
Mhm.
at the same time, too, it's just like, how's it
Oh,
gonna,
dude,
how's it
just
gonna
know that
change?
you're in for a treat.
Okay.
Mhm.
It hasn't
I'll get
lost
there.
it
Because
hasn't lost its touch.
because Lance Reddick was in, like, Lance Reddick was big in
Oh,
it,
so the thing is, he's definitely from what I heard and from what I was told, he's in the first 3 episodes,
Yep.
Okay.
or
Yeah,
like
he's in
he
the first
finished the
3.
season. Okay,
Yeah. I think it was James C that was talking to us about that.
okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
the first 3 episodes are all him, and then the rest I think
Mhm.
are someone else. Yeah, I think
Yep.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where I'm
So,
like, oh, like sadness a little
But
bit.
it doesn't lose a beat from the other seasons, dude.
Mhm.
It's great.
Yeah.
And Matt, I'm so jealous
Um,
you get to start it.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's
it's
gonna
next
be
on my
so much
list.
fun,
I
bro.
might start it tonight, actually.
It's really
so
good.
It's fun and it's cool. And
Yeah.
you stay with it.
But the fun thing is like that's what kind of got me into watching their
The actual
their
campaign.
actual vids for campaigns,
The actual
because
campaign.
then I started putting scenes together from their
Mhm.
campaign, and like,
I mean,
so that was that role. Like it's fun to
technically,
do that. Yeah, it's fun to correlate that.
I mean, technically, Solo Leveling wasn't my first anime series that I watched.
Uh-huh.
Let's be honest, I'm an 80s kid and I grew up on Voltron.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that counts.
You know,
Yeah,
There
it
you
counts.
go.
It
it
counts.
counts.
Yeah.
So I've been, jonesing for I need to just buy the original Voltron series because I,
But
I
dude,
love Voltron.
I say both.
Oh,
Like
real
even
quick,
the Netflix one
um,
was, I think, was good.
Netflix one was good.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill has been cast in the live action Voltron.
Is that real? I
Yeah.
saw that on Facebook. I don't believe that.
Oh
I'll
no,
wait until
I
I
actually
see
went
it.
and looked at the articles. He's been cast. They don't
Is
say
he
who
really?
they don't say who he's going to be though. So
Oh, please. Oh
I
God.
think he's going to be
Please.
one of the bad guys.
No. He's
He has a
got
demeanor. Anyways,
maybe.
from a TV show, I kind of started diving into Supergirl just to see how that show was because I never
Oh, cool.
watched it.
Okay.
Reason being is somehow I've ended up on Superman Lois TikTok, and I've had season 4 really ruined for me.
Oh, bummer.
Um, yeah, so I just kind of was messing around with that. I did finish my full watch of Return of the King and
Oh, cool. Yeah.
the Dark Knight trilogy.
Oh, nice.
I am going back through X-Men 97. That is still an
I'm literally
amazing
like on
show.
episode 2. Like
I'm on episode 2 right now.
Oh, sweet.
From a gaming perspective, I'm still playing MLB The Show. Um,
How are we doing?
Now I'm 12 and a half games up on the Dodgers.
Oh, shit.
However, they're the number 1 wild card right now.
Oh,
Yeah, the Dodgers and I have the best records in the NL. So I will
nice.
probably face them and that's going to be fun. So yeah, I've got 4 weeks left in my season and then it's playoff time on that. More Echoes of Wisdom. I am down in the desert. Now, for those that have been playing the game, it's kind of interesting. The map so far as I've unlocked it is the mirror image to Link to the Past.
It's also kind of giving me
So,
Breath of the Wild vibes too, because the
Jerry,
Gerudo is there as well.
So
Like
yeah, that's where I'm at right now, is
Gerudo's
down in
yeah,
Gerudo.
that's where I'm at.
But
Yeah.
there is a direct reference to the first dungeon in Link to the Past. You know where you go get the
cool.
Pegasus boots? Out in the
Nope.
So in the desert, that dungeon in Link to
Spoiler,
the
but I'm
Past.
down. Give me that secret. Where is it?
Oh no, you'll get there. It's part of
okay.
you'll come across it by exploring
okay.
the
It's part
area. You
okay.
have to go to that part in the game. But I'm just saying there's a direct reference to Link to the Past. And then
cool.
basically you can understand that the map's like a mirror image. You know?
Okay.
So in the original game in Link to the Past, the desert was on the right side of the map and the Lost Woods was on the left. They're flipped. So I haven't hit the Lost Woods
Huh.
area yet, but I'm in the desert hanging out there. And then as a sweatshirt states, I'm back on my bullshit.
Oh no.
Oh no. That's it.
It's not a
Is
major, it's not a move. I'm just getting out
the
all my
fifth
Halloween
rework?
decorations. I'm getting my Halloween decorations out.
You told me that. You told us
Yeah,
that at,
I
at
finally,
LA
I
Comic Con.
finally
Yeah, okay.
started working on it.
Oh,
I
right
realized
on.
the error in my ways that I accidentally sold off some of my stuff to pay for the mass remodeling.
Bum, bum, bum.
Because here we are, a couple weeks
Wah, wah.
Halloween, and I've got a whole bunch of shit I got to build, which basically means for Christmas I've got an absolute metric ton of crap I've got to build
Oh wow.
for my remodel. So yeah, it's all right though. I love my island. I love working on it. I got a tremendous amount of shit from some of my people because I hadn't talked to them in 2 months.
Oh
My island
dang, you've
was
been lagging.
overrun with weeds,
Oh,
so I
a
had to
bit
de-weed the
weedy.
sucker.
Bit weedy. Oh, bummer.
Yep.
That's
So,
funny.
but yes, no, the island itself
That-
is not getting a remodel. It is
That game, that
honestly,
game really is a trip.
it
funny.
really is where I want it to be from a layout perspective now. I might make minor tweaks,
We'll
but
see.
as of right now, hey,
it's still early. Still early.
this is the longest I've gone without deciding to remodel part of my island. So
Okay, good.
it's in a good
That's
spot
cool.
right now.
okay.
So,
Still early. Still early.
you know,
Still early. It's still early.
it is, and you know, I will eventually probably redo it. You know, we'll see. I've had some design ideas mulling in my head that I may just get that itch and go after the holidays. Maybe we'll see.
After
Um,
a few turnip slinging, little turnip slinging here and there.
oh, I need to save up some money because I think
Yeah.
the move that I got pictured in my head is going to cost a penny. But the problem is I love my museum. I love my Smithsonian. So, um, anyways, with that, I want to thank everybody for crashing game night with us tonight. If your first time crashing, thank you for giving us a chance tonight and giving us a listen. If you like what you heard, drop us a follow over on crashinggamenight.com on one of the platforms we're carried on, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, whatnot. For those listeners though that are on Spotify, we did hear from Spotify that there's an issue getting the RSS feeds from SoundCloud. So if you've missed the last couple of episodes because you can't find us, head on over to SoundCloud, or better yet, just go to crashinggamenight.com. We have all the episodes right there online for you, right on the website, so you can catch back up on those episodes and the current ones. We're working on lining up some guests, especially from that are involved with a little project called X-Men 97. Just getting some dates lined up for that. We'll have them on the show, but just with everything right now, as we are here in the States, we're just a couple of weeks away from not only Halloween, but also a really big election. Everything that's going on all around the world, people recovering from, not one, but two hurricanes essentially hitting
Yeah.
Yeah.
Florida back to back. I have some family members that were in the direct path. Everyone's okay, thankfully. Just some power outages and not a ton of damage. But just remember, guys, there's people that are going through things in their lives, whether that's personal, mental, family members impacted by natural disasters. At the end of the day, let's all be good to each other, and please be excellent to each other.
That's right, all you nerds. First of all, first and foremost, you all are your own unique selves. Be you, and also, let's just promote the same message as always. Especially now, this is the time to show it, to prove it, to lend a helping hand, to try and be there, to try to do and be better. To all of the hurricane victims, everyone out there, try and help each other out. Let's just try and show that we can do better, we can be better, and let's help each other out, and lend a hand, and you know um just help out. Thank you all. Be safe, especially all of you out there from the hurricane. Thank you, and all the prayers to you. So yes, be safe out there. J-Rock, take it away.
Yeah, like we've been saying, the election's just right around the corner, right at the same time as our 300. So,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff's
The week
happening within
before.
the month. So
Oh, wow.
just
I have my ballot right here.
Well,
yeah,
all
see,
right. All
that's ready
right.
to go. Just take care of yourself. Look into what you like for your politics, because it does make a difference in the. If you don't feel it does in the presidential, sometimes I feel like it doesn't, but I know um, all the local governments.
Oh,
Those
it
are
does
the ones
matter.
that are going to be. Those are the ones that are going to matter. So please
Especially
look into.
your proposals, right? That are
Yeah,
on the ballot that are
yeah,
potentially
your
increased taxes and
propositions, the
whatever.
different
Yep, your
propositions
props.
that you guys have in your local zones. Please take a look at them. It's going to shape everything out. As well as what we have as a future. So just look into those if you don't like the entire politics of the presidential race, because I know, like, for example, myself in California. California is very democratic. It's almost as blue as Dodgers. It's that blue. So, but for all you out there, though, please take a look at your propositions that you have at home. Anyways, I know I'm missing Theo, the champ. Our, the champ is not here, so it's okay. I'm gonna send it out to Jerry because Jerry, you deserve a chance again. You're my boy. You're
Ooh,
my boy.
I'm
Bruce.
telling you, I'm gonna make it my own.
I know,
to
and
do
that's
it.
why I guess I can't send you off like have the outro like Theo. So you know what?
That's cool.
You know, Jerry, Beanie,
What's up?
like, go ahead, take it away.
Absolutely.
Just take it away. She's not even giving me.
Thank you, folks.
We'll figure this one out. But
Thank you, folks. Thank you, folks.
Don't worry,
That'll
Jerry,
do.
I'm just gonna keep talking over you.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jerry. Take it away.
Okay, thank you. Well, that'll do, folks. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. TTFN. That'll do.
Jesus.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Thank you all. I
Thanks
told
for
you I'm
watching.
making
Thanks
it
for
my own.
listening.
That's not like, oh, like Jesus.
TTFN.
Told you I'm
Shouts out
making
for
it
now,
my
everybody.
own. I knew you would hate it.
God.
Good night.